Cherry Grind's been together for about 3 years now. Three of us knew each other in high school or middle school, and when we left high school, we had nothing to do, so we decided to start a band and give it a real go. And then we found Zach, the drummer, about a year ago.
For someone who hasn't heard your band, how would you describe you guys?
That's a hard one.
Yeah, we try not to say too much about it because we feel like we're labelling ourselves immediately, but
let the music do the talking.
Okay.
It's pretty heavy and it's pretty melodic, and you could draw comparisons to Led Zeppelin or Aerosmith or even Thin Lizzy, but then also strains of like Jeff Buckley and more recent stuff. A lot of people have said Soundgarden because of the riffs.
So, apart from those ones, who would be some of your influences?
Oh man, Freddie King, Pantera, Stevie Wonder,
The Meters,
the Beatles, Alice in Chains,
Roger Stills and Nash. Did we say that?
Nirvana, and Young.
It's right, yeah. Deep Purple. Yeah.
It's a pretty mixed bag of influences there. Would you say everything that you listen to comes together and makes up who you are?
Yeah.
More or less, yeah. We have the elements of the heavy rock, but we don't like to concentrate on that too much because we're capable of a lot more than just heavy riffs.
Is there a need to keep pushing yourself to explore different musical creativity?
Definitely. I think we all feel that you're never done learning. There's always our favourite bands, like the Beatles or Zeppelin. They were kind of the best at doing that. They were always changing and evolving, and we try and do that ourselves.
Okay. So you guys have an album out so far, A Room with a View. Are you writing new material for a follow-up?
Yeah, we kind of have about 2 or 3 albums worth of material ready to go. So even by the time we recorded the album last year, it was in some ways we were we were so done with those songs, so ready to move on from them. We can't wait to get back in the studio and do it all again.
How does that process come about? From you form a band, you write some songs, and then you get into the studio to record. Obviously, it doesn't just happen overnight. So how does this process take place?
Lots of jamming and lots of gigs. We've come to realise that there's no set way to go about it. Even in what we're planning to do over the next year or so, we're planning to go to Europe and tour the album there. And in organising that, we've realised there's absolutely no rules or no one way of doing it in anything to do with music.
Yep, you're forever changing as you go.
How important is the use of social media to the band?
That's a good question. Obviously, social media, YouTube. I guess we should all be thinking of YouTube and stuff like that as almost the new singles, the new radio sometimes. Yeah. And then social media is obviously the internet is changing the music industry a lot. And it gives everyone a chance to get out there. You don't always need a label or to spend heaps of money on promotion because you can do it online. We can reach people on the other side of the world. If I use it well,
Yeah.
Absolutely invaluable.
It is. I mean, obviously there's things that musicians don't like about the way that it's changing, and there's pros and cons to everything, right? But yeah, I guess answer the question is obviously social media, whether we like it or not, is important. And the internet is where everyone goes for content these days, so we need to be on top of it.
Can it be distracting from making music to have to spend time networking your music?
Oh yeah, definitely. Yeah. It can be. It's I mean, all these things can be. We spend a lot of time on social media. We call it the admin. Writing emails, trying to reach out, I guess, through the internet. Unfortunately, it can be a distraction. It can take up a lot of your time, but I guess that means you just make more time, right? We just work harder.
Yep.
Because we don't want to start sacrificing the music, right? Because that's what it's all about. So we
we just put in more hours.
You said earlier you were planning to go to Europe sometime this year. A lot of bands are heading over there because there seems to be a great response to our bands. Can you see a permanent route move sometime in the future if things start to develop over there?
Permanently?
Yeah, permanency is always difficult because, you know, we'd have to have a pretty solid base over there and we'd have to get jobs over there probably. We're not living off it yet, but
that's the dream, I guess, is, you know, we know a few bands that are on labels over there now, and they basically do have the opportunity to live over there if they chose to. So, yeah, it'd be a hell of a holiday.
Was there a particular musician or guitar player or drummer or bass or singer that made you want to give this a serious go?
Sure. Well, for me as a guitarist, I guess Hendrix was an obvious one, but also Kurt Cobain. And I guess that's just the things that I grew up with, the bands that I grew up listening to when I was 3, 4, 5 years old.
For me, it was Ace Frehley of Kiss.
Cool.
My dad played guitar for years in bands, and there were always guitars lying around the house, but I didn't feel like I really wanted to give it a go until I got into Kiss and saw Ace play and said, I want to do that.
Well, it was probably one of the earliest bands I was exposed to was Led Zeppelin, so clearly I became a drummer.
I'd say when I first started listening to Sabbath, Geezer Butler was, and remains to this day, my idol for playing bass.
Nice. So when you guys are writing songs together and you've got so many different influences and genres, do you say, I'm going to write a song that's kind of a cross between the Beatles or Pantera, or do you think it just comes out naturally?
Well, I think you kind of do. Well, you come up with an idea and you jam on it and it starts to form, and then you can kind of say, well, this kind of sounds a bit like this or that, or we might want to give it, you know, like a Pantera flavor or whatever. But the beauty of having really diverse influences is that it doesn't end up sounding like that band that you might have modelled a part on.
Yeah, we can obviously tell who we may or may not be drawing from at the time. Or it'll come from a solid idea. We'll go, we want to do a song that does this, this, and this. Let's make it happen.
Yeah, and often when we play it to somebody, they'll say that it sounds like, you know, this artist, and we go, really? It's absolutely not what we thought. But
Yeah. That's kind of the thing with music, though. Everyone's got their own personal responses to it. Is that part of the appeal of being a musician, that you can draw different things out of people?